Worcester, Massachusetts, known for its numerous colleges and universities, diverse culture, restaurants, and entertainment, has not ceased to grow and improve, driving individuals and businesses to join in its growth. Worcester holds pride in its strong sense of community. This project will be highlighting and examining the introduction of the Worcester Red Sox as they take on Worcester in their inaugural season. Throughout Worcester's history, new businesses have sprouted time and time again. However, as each of these businesses and organizations develop, they must strive to involve existing cultures and communities in order to seamlessly enter the equation. This project's importance arrives to answer the question of how the Worcester Red Sox baseball team has changed the city and affected the surrounding communities, and ultimately how community shapes the city and the businesses, as well as how the businesses and city shape communities.
The city has been amazing partners to us, just in terms of their guidance, their leadership. You know, when you come into a new city, you really do need to work hand in hand with them, right? What we did in the past in Pawtucket has to be different than what we do in Worcester, right? It's two different communities, two different markets, right? And we really do, with the relationship that we have with the city, we need to take advantage of that, and we have, and we will continue to do so.
We're part of the community. We're in the heart of the Commonwealth here, and we want to have a big impact. One of the things we're doing on Saturday night, for instance, we're playing our games at 4:05 on a Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, which is unusual. Most teams play Saturday nights. It's one of their bigger nights. But we wanted to have games that would end 6:30, 7 o'clock, so 10,000 people can leave Polo Park and head right into the city of Worcester and this surrounding area and enjoy a Saturday night, whether it's going to restaurants, going to shops, going to bars. So we want to have a huge impact. The city's been great to us. They're so supportive, and we're going to pay it back in spades.
A few years back, met with Larry Lucchino and Dr. Childs. I mean, they always said they wanted this to be more than a ballpark, right? And truly, it is more than the ballpark, because the entire Canal District, the properties down there have sold for, some of them as recent as, a few weeks ago, sold for double what they would have sold for prior to the ballpark. There are so many new businesses that have come in, along with, folks who, bought property as well. So the whole revitalization of the Canal District is really taken off unbelievably. I mean, we've had, the Kelly Square project, which got tied into the ballpark, which is a $35 million project. Who would have ever thought that Kelly Square would get a makeover, right? But even in terms of apartments, I mean, you have the, new Worcester Market, the apartments upstairs from there immediately got filled. The Canal Lofts, that was down there, several years back, but we're doing some new apartments down there as well at the other end of the street, which is, we didn't think that project would move forward as quickly as it did. I mean, you just talk about really a new neighborhood, right? Not only do we have a ballpark, but a new neighborhood. But definitely, I think, it'll be really interesting to see, and we're trying to be as thoughtful as we can navigating the residents with the ballpark. The governor just released that now the ballpark can go to 25%, which is great, right? But once that opens up to full capacity, I think it, will be really nice for the businesses down there. And I think it's, going to be exciting for the residents as well.
We saw this plot, when you saw this plot, it was really just an abandoned parking lot on a hill with weeds and chain link fences, and you would have never thought a ballpark could fit here. But credit to Janet Marie Smith, the great architect who's done work at Fenway and other ballparks around the country. She thought that this could fit. And they wanted it right here in the heart of the Canal District. They wanted it with certain levels. You come in off of Summit Street, up in right field at that level. You can come in at ground level on Madison Street. It's just a perfect, unique spot for a ballpark. Tight, cozy, intimate, and that's what we wanted in a ballpark. So it's the ideal spot. Yeah, it was really important to try to, have that tie-in, and I know fans in this area love the fact that, it's a Boston affiliate. The Worcester Red Sox are the Boston Red Sox AAA affiliate, as you said, and it's kind of a mirror of Fenway in a way when you think about it, because the Worcester wall's in right field as opposed to the Green Monster in left. The Worcester wall's 22 feet high compared to 37 Green Monster at Fenway. There's a lot of amenities, the modern amenities that fans now come to expect, just the ease of getting around, the openness of it, the fact that there's obviously not a bad seat in the house, the fact that there's so many different viewing areas. You can go to the right field wall, you can go to the Hanover deck in left field, you can go, we're on the bridge here now, we're calling it the bridge, which overlooks the first base bullpen in our dugout. So just a lot of unique areas that really, I think, fans are going to love. But the playing field is the same playing field that they have at Fenway, same company, Sports Turf Specialties put that in. The drainage system is the same. And the main thing though is the fans. The fans that are here are going to be WooSox fans, but they're also part of Red Sox Nation. And the players will get used to playing in front of these great fans, and I think that's one of the coolest things.
The WooSox came in and they did their, several meetings with all the different neighborhood groups, as well as, talking to the city officials. So it truly was a partnership, us working with the WooSox and Janet Marie Smith and getting this done. I mean, hours and hours and hours of meetings on what this ballpark would look like here in the city of Worcester, and just incorporating, from the smiley face to Polar Park to, the Wonder Bar Pizza, Coney Island hot dog. So we've had a lot of involvement with what this ballpark would look like here in the city of Worcester.
What I love about the team name and the mascot is mainly the significance behind the rich culture and history of Worcester, right? When you think of the mascot Smiley Ball and you think of Harvey Ball, who invented, the smiley face, it was something that has been embedded in this community, embedded to the city of Worcester, and I think it's just something that we wanted to take part in and also honor them.
Yeah, certainly the great thing about Pawtucket was the history. We were in Pawtucket for 50 years. Some of the greatest players in the game of baseball came through. You look at guys from the 70s like Lynn and Rice, and the 80s Clemens and Boggs, and then Nomar and Moe in the 90s, Pedroia, Bogarts, Betts in recent times. And the same thing's going to happen here in Worcester. Household names, Hall of Fame names are going to play here and go on to big careers in the major leagues and become prominent. So we're happy to be the starting point. The history will start on May 11th with our first game and build from there. And there'll be so many historic moments and so many historic players and things that I know that people are just going to love.
For this ballpark, we made sure that there were several community meetings. We did the meetings for the ballpark in the community down at the White Room, which is the Crompton Collective building. Because again, for somebody like myself, and I know for the WooSox and for the administration, it really was about involving the community. And we did several meetings there, not only from, because we had this ballpark, we had Kelly Square, we had all the street improvements, we've redone all of our parking plan in the city of Worcester and started in the Canal District, given the fact that we have this ballpark coming. So the community really was involved in the decision making in this ballpark.
What I love about the Worcester community is the passion they have, not only for sports, but also for the nonprofit sector. You think of Youth Connect, the partnership that United Way has with 8 different agencies that come together to help improve the lives of a lot of young folks. That's amazing, right? Not only the baseball history, but the nonprofit sector, the business community. It really is more of a family-oriented type of city. So the Worcester Red Sox Foundation is actually the philanthropy arm of the ball club. What I think is amazing about it is we have 4 main areas, 4 main pillars, not excluding anything else, but these are the 4 main areas of focus, which are education, social justice, recreation, in the fight against cancer. And what I love about these is we're going to have programs involved with all different other pillars, other programs too for other things that we saw a need for in the community. But we're trying to bring everybody together in the community and really just help improve the lives of everybody within Worcester, within Central Mass. What I love about the players is how ambitious they are to give back. Not only the players, but also their girlfriends, their wives, right? Their significant others. So players are more than happy to do things for the community, whether it's community cleanup days or whatever it can be. They really are a part of the community. Even though, yes, they're players, their residency may not be here specifically in Worcester, but when they're here at Polar Park, they want to be as involved as possible.
Well, we really know one of the things that attracted us to Worcester, many things, but one of the things was that being a college town. We know there's 10 to 12 colleges within a short distance of Polar Park, and we really hope that the college students can be, part of this experience and come here and see us, come visit us. The youth are so important to baseball. We need, a whole new market of young people that love the game, that want to follow the game, and I think that this area has young people, it's got established people, it's got business people, it's got town residents. It's just a diverse group that we want to introduce and or continue their love of baseball and their passion of baseball. So, we can't wait to have them here. It's going to come soon, and we look forward to meeting every one of them.
Being an Assumption University alum, I could definitely see students coming to games after class or on the weekend. But more importantly, a lot of college kids don't necessarily live here. So let's say they have internships here in the city of Worcester or in Boston, just inviting them to the ballpark, having college nights, whatever it can be. So we really do want to take advantage of having so many young, ambitious students here in the community, and we want to invite them into our new home.
Worcester, to me, is home. I've lived here my entire life. And it's the park itself is a huge part of the community. The Worcester got put back on the map because of Polar Park and, this baseball league coming here to Worcester. With all the new construction, the new restaurants that are here, I think people in general are just really proud of their hometown, Worcester. And for me, it is all about our neighborhoods and it's all about the community. That's what Worcester is about. And I love Worcester because Worcester gives you, for as large as we are, it still has that hometown feel.
Worcester and the WooSox have become a national name. You're going to hear it all the time on Boston Red Sox games and telecasts in the newspaper, TVs. We've had every TV from New England station has been here during the construction of Polar Park, and they'll be here throughout the season. So it just gives Worcester a prominent name. It's just, it's going to become something that people are going to resonate with, just like Pawtucket did. A lot of people hadn't heard of Pawtucket until the Pawtucket Red Sox. Now with the Worcester Red Sox, it's going to be a national name.
On May 11th, I think it's one of the most exciting days in the city of Worcester's history. I don't remember a project that was this big and this exciting. I know we, did Union Station, which was a historical big deal for the city of Worcester. But the last project that people can tell me about that was a really big deal was when the city of Worcester was able to get UMass to come to Worcester. But this is really Worcester, Massachusetts, getting back on the map, and everybody talking about Worcester in such a positive way.
I would just say, we're excited. We truly are. It's so refreshing coming to the city of Worcester. For me personally, a lot of people say, wherever you go to college kind of becomes your second home. And for me, it's so true, so it's nice to kind of be back here in Worcester, and I'm excited to see, more importantly, the impact that this sport, that this ballpark can have here in the city of Worcester. It's much bigger than just the 70 home games that we typically have, right? You have 365 days a year, 70 home games. You have 295 days left. what are you going to do with this place, right? So we're going to have nonprofit events, we're going to have concerts, right? We're going to have different birthday parties here, whatever you can think of. So it really is much bigger than just a ballpark. It really is more so a community center.